like to apologize to SG in this case.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Attorney Anthony Goldstein, bar number 77 from Mr. Bellisario. He's here in custody from NDOC.
Colleen Baharav for the state.
Any legal cause or reasoning we cannot proceed with sentencing today?
No, Your Honor, for the record, I reviewed the PSI with Mr. Bellisario. It's the PSI from Judge Eller's case. It's a supplemental dated April 24th of this year. We have no objection to it.
Okay.
And there was a PSI in this case a long time ago as well. So between the two of them, I think they've encompassed what Mr. Bellisario wanted to say.
All right. All right, state retains right to argue.
I'll actually be pretty brief. The state argued in the other case for an aggregate sentence of 6 to 15. We had speakers in the other case. We provided the information to the court about the violence that we observed with this particular defendant. But even despite those arguments, that court decided that a 4 to 10 sentence was appropriate. I understand if the court feels the same way. I am still asking for 2 to 5 consecutive here, but if this court doesn't find that appropriate, then 2 to 5 concurrent is sufficient. He does have 374 days credit, and that is including the time where we had the issue with the sentencing because it wasn't his fault that he was not transferred here. So that would include all of the days from June 3rd, 2024, when this court remanded him in this department until today, up to and including today. The restitution is $8,333.34. The named victim for that restitution is SG. If the court needs her actual name, I can provide it to you. She's just a minor, so
No,
that's
fine.
I didn't want to send that in the record, but given the fact that this court's familiar with how this case.
And that was from the minor's compromise claim?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure. Okay.
And it's this, all of the other cases have already been dealt with in terms of the negotiation. So the only question before this court relates to SG, and that is the restitution that we're requesting based upon that minor's compromise.
Got it.
So I know this court's familiar with the status history of this case, the court's familiar with the facts, and so I don't really need to belabor the point. We still do think 6 to 15 is appropriate, but if the court disagrees, 2 to 5 concurrent with 374 days. Sounds good.
Okay. Mr. Bellisario, your attorney will have an opportunity to address the court. Anything you want to say first?
I'd like to apologize to SG in this case. I was going through mental health and substance abuse issues at the time. I took the paperwork to the bank to open the minor's comp claim, and then the paperwork was wrong. The banker and I figured out it was wrong, so I had to redo it. And then in between that time, things spiraled out of control for me. So taking accountability for that it was my fault. There's just one other thing I'd like to ask the court, because there was an issue where I was trying to get my old attorney, trying to figure out who filed my guilty plea agreement. And I talked to Tyler Tech, and they told me the court would be able to tell me,
Who filed your?
just who filed, who was the actual, because I've gotten 3 different stories from the office. So I was just trying to, if the court could tell me that.
I don't know. Let me see if I can before I tell you if I can or cannot.
Okay.
And Your Honor, the GPA was filed on July 8th of 22, if that speeds up your looking up. Obviously, I wasn't on the case at that point. It was a prior attorney, but it was July 8th of 22.
Is there a way to find out who did the filing?
Who did it or the attorney?
What attorney? On Bellisario's? I mean, I can pull up the guilty plea agreement.
Right.
I don't,
Yeah, because they, each filer has their own account, and Tyler Tech told me the court would be able to do, I don't know. I was just seeing if it was possible.
well, I will tell you, there's a lot of tech things that theoretically I can do, but it's all theoretical.
Gotcha.
So,
Which case though?
in this case, the 362-446, yeah. And I say that only because there's no receipt, for lack of a better word, that's
Right,
filed.
that's what I knew, whoever filed it would have the email that said they did it, but they're not giving it to me, so it's.
Yeah, unfortunately, if I can, I don't know how.
Okay.
So I can't give you that answer. So I'm sorry. All right, anything else?
No.
All right, Mr. Goldstein.
Your Honor, first of all, regarding the restitution, Mr. Bellisario tells me that the victim SG has been made whole from the state bar in Nevada. So though, of course, not disputing the amount might go to the state bar, the victim recovery. I'm not sure the specific department, but my understanding is the victim has been made whole. So if there is recovery, if there is restitution, I'd ask, I mean, maybe it just goes straight to the state bar. Not disputing the amount or that he owes it, but just to the recipient at this point, Your Honor.
Do we have any information on that?
When I was, so I haven't followed up in the last week or two, so I don't know. At the time of the grand jury, that hadn't occurred yet, so if it didn't occur in the meantime, of course, we're not advocating for double recovery, but the state bar can obviously subrogate if any restitution is sent to the victim.
I guess that's how it'd have to be then, like through subrogation. I guess, cause she is the named victim. But,
Pursuant to Martinez, I have to ask that it be her. I cannot ask that it be substituted for anyone that made her whole, but obviously, if we're given information by the state bar or whatever that she's already been made whole, then of course, he shouldn't be paying her.
do you have any documents showing that she was made whole by the state bar?
I do not, Your Honor. I'm just relying on the word of Mr.
Got
Bellisario.
it. Okay, so I'm gonna do it in her name.
Maybe you can do it in or.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would
Can I
protect,
do it?
I don't know, this is a unique situation, but
It is.
I'm sure the state bar will do the right thing if they receive the money. So I don't know, you know, there's gonna be some. He's gonna be based on Judge Eller's sentence, he's gonna be in custody for a minute anyway, so the payment's likely not gonna happen imminently. Hopefully, I mean, eventually, but I just wanna make sure that it goes to the right place.
Can you do two SG? However, if the proof is provided to the Division of Parole and Probation that SG's been made whole, then they can be ordered to send it to the state bar. Cause they're the ones
I
that,
mean, I can put that in the JOC, that doesn't mean that's going to be followed,
right,
but I can do that.
seems like a good compromise.
Alright. Alright, in accordance with the law of the state of Nevada, I hereby adjudicate, oh, I'm sorry, is there anything else?
Well, my request is going to be to run this matter concurrent with Judge Eller's sentence, which, as Ms. Baharav noted, was a lofty 4 to 10. This was, I think Mr. Bellisario said it best, this was an unfortunate episode in his life that hopefully he's passed, made a lot of regrettable decisions to which he's pled guilty, Your Honor. And I'm hoping Your Honor will believe that the 4 to 10 that Judge Eller laid down is enough time. As such, I just asked the court to run this matter concurrent with that case. And I believe there's 374 days credit for time served. I'll submit it on that.
In accordance with the law of the state of Nevada, I hereby adjudicate you guilty of 1 count of theft. In addition to the $25 administrative assessment fee, DNA, I'm assuming, has been ordered in Judge Eller's case. I'm going to sentence you to a minimum of 2, maximum of 5 years in Nevada Department of Corrections. This is to run. What is the case number again? Here it is. This is to run concurrent with case C 354165. You're ordered to pay restitution amount of $8,333.34 to SG. However, if SG has been made whole by the department, I'm sorry, by the State Bar of Nevada, then I'm going to order that the payments be made to whomever made SG whole. I'm gonna try to leave it open like that,
That's
just in
your
case there's some other kind of entity. You have 374 days credit. Good luck to you, sir. I'm gonna recommend the 184 program too.
Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.